Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the West Lindsey series. This is one of the 9 districts of Lincolnshire and one of the county's most rural. It has 128 civil parishes. Let's see which one this episode's all about. Okay, welcome back to West Lindsey once again, everybody. Nikki's joining me for this one. This one is really small. I imagine this will take me less than half an hour to walk around. This is a lovely place, just like Waddingham in the last episode. This is Snitterby. The West Lindsey series is sponsored by Gainsborough Cycles 01427 617 752. For all your cycling needs, this is your one-stop shop, located at 20 Ropery Road or online at gainsboroughcycles.com. There's a link in the description. Gainsborough Cycles, ask for Trevor Halstead. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Snitterby is a tiny village in West Lindsey, situated 14 miles north of Lincoln and 8 miles south of Brigg. The village is just off the A15 northeast of Caenby Corner and southeast of Kirton in Lindsey. To the west, along the A15, Ermine Street, the parish boundary is with Grayingham. It's what I'd describe as a cosy cluster of houses based around a handful of narrow streets. As a place name, Snitterby seems to contain an unrecorded Old English personal name, Syntra, so possibly this is Syntra's farm or settlement. Ekwall suggests that this personal name is a derivative of the Old English word snotor, meaning wise. Snitterby appeared in the Domesday Book twice as Esnetrebi and Snetrebi. Snitterby was for centuries a village, township and chapelry in the parish of Waddingham, but these days it looks after itself. It has a few new builds, but it's remained small throughout its history. Snitterby's boundaries meet the new River Ancombe to the east and include Harlem Hill and Harlem Hill Lock, something which I found a great picture of online. In many ways, this is a typical Lincolnshire settlement, surrounded by flat, open countryside and reliant still to this day on farming. It's got a great community too, which we found out likes cake. Keep watching to see what that's all about. Our journey around Snitterby starts at this bus shelter. As we've seen previously out here, buses are infrequent. The timetable here states there's only one bus a week, which runs between Market Raisin and Scunthorpe on a Thursday. Here's Snitterby Beck, and much like Waddingham Beck last week, this is looking a little on the dry side. Snitterby Beck does in fact run into Waddingham Beck eventually, after joining Black Dyke in between. The village has one public house, the Royal Oak, which stands right next to the beck. Built as an alehouse over 250 years ago, the Oak, as it's known locally, has changed little in appearance and in function, not at all. The TVI pounds came out again here because Nikki had spotted an egg stall just a few yards away from the pub. Get a load of those fresh, free-range beauties, my friends. So as well as eggs, there's a sign on this corner, the pink one there. I kid you not, that says cake. Now I like a bit of cake, occasionally. Let's see if we can find it. School Lane now, where a national school was built in 1862 to hold up to 70 children. That school still stands and it's now used as the village hall, and it's where the cake sign was pointing to. We happened to visit the village on a day when coffee and cake were available here. We didn't opt to go in and try any though, we were happy enough with the box of eggs. On the wall here is the parish notice board. We did leave a card, but we didn't film that today. We also have 4 plaques, each one awarding the title of Best Kept Village to Snitterby. These are dated 1967, 1969, 1970 and 1972. Moving on, and we come to a small recreational space which reminded me a bit of the one in Cuxwold in that it only has one swing. This walled enclosure also features a small bench. It's a nice little oasis. So that's on the corner of Dovecote Close. Now I can't see a dovecote anywhere, but if there's going to be one, it's going to be around here somewhere. These houses look all new to me, or newish, so it may have been one in the past life. Yes indeed, Nikki. Overlooking all this on the corner is the Manor House, similar in style to that in North Kelsey. It's a late 18th century house constructed of coursed limestone rubble. It's a Grade 2 listed building, as is its garden wall. I've nothing to say about Moor Road, so this is a good time to mention Thomas de Snitterby, the Crown official and Snitterby native, who in the late 1200s became a judge of the Court of Common Pleas in Ireland. He was the first of many Irish judges from the same family. I've included his Wikipedia article below. Next is St Nicholas's Church, erected on the site of an older structure in 1780 and rebuilt in 1866 and 67. Its tower was completed in 1894. One of the most interesting external features here would be its clock. Until 2007, the clock had to be wound up by hand once a week. That was until a £10,000 grant paid for a new mechanism. Now, those of you who have been watching me for a long time might remember the Stillingfleet episode in Selby. I had to think for a minute where it was. And in that episode, Nikki went into the church there and explored the church while I went round another part of the village and I met her on the other side. And I can do that here because if you walk through the churchyard, you'll come out onto the street that's behind it. You can walk straight through it, but I'm going to walk around, and when we get there, we'll see what Nikki's found out about the church. So here we go then, this way. I think I might keep the camera rolling here actually, rather than take a load of shots of what I can see. Sometimes it's better to do it like this. So these are obviously residential streets mainly. I think there is something of interest on the other street, which we'll come on to in a moment. I'm going to try and walk this as fast as I can because I don't want this to be a lengthy video by any stretch of the imagination. It's only a tiny village, this one. Oh, big dog. Wow. That one surprised me. So this brings us back to the road we were on a few minutes ago with the village hall on it. I forgot the name of this road, or else I would tell you what it is. Oh, Church Lane, of course, yeah, Church Lane. You'll be surprised how many times I do check my map as I go around for street names. It's ridiculous. So here we are, we were on here a moment ago. There's that recreational area that we saw. And there's the village hall. Coffee and cake still being served, apparently. Although they did tell us when we were outside it that there wasn't much left. So yeah, we didn't get any, but that's not a problem. So here we go, turn left past a bench. This is Chapel Lane. Let's see if this bench is anything. So, rest ye a while, presented to Snitterby villagers in memory of Charles and Nora Richardson. Okay, Chapel Lane. And there is a chapel on here. This is the thing of interest I was talking about back on Church Lane a few moments ago. I don't know whether it's beyond the church entrance or before it, but we'll find out. Oh, it's before it, it's here. It's the one with the ivy you can see above its windows. There's the church from the other side. Good morning. Pears. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. I'll take a couple.
What are you recording?
It's a YouTube channel, my friend. I'm making a video about Snitterby.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, and here's the wife who's just explored the church. Three pairs.
Really?
Oh, a nice pair. Okay.
2 pairs.
Thank you very much.
We'll add that to our collection, indeed. Cheers, pal.
Thank you.
So did you? Yeah, no, I've just been talking about it. So what did you find out about the church then? Anything interesting?
Well, it appears to be open, although I didn't go in.
Okay.
In the churchyard, I found a First World War memorial, which I took some pictures of. So please put those in a picture bit.
I'll think about it. That's if Snitterby even gets one, because it's quite small, remember?
I have one now.
It has to have one now, all right then. So says the missus. And you said it was open? Okay. Well, okay, yeah, we'll go in. I'll keep the camera rolling. I've kept it rolling ever since I was around there. So this is going to be a long section of the video, but in a way...
It's only about the noise the farmers out.
Yeah. It's quite... what's he doing? Cutting the hedge? Cutting the hedge? I don't know, is he? Yeah. Cutting the hedge, look. You see? Yeah. I've just seen an information board there about the church, I think. I'll catch that on the way out.
There's the memorial, but I've got the pictures to put in. So.
Yeah, I'll put that in the picture bit.
Yeah.
So let's go in and see what we've got in here. He is quite noisy, isn't he? Oh. Yeah, it's open.
Sometimes it's nice to come in out of the pool and out of the noise.
Well, it is quite warm. Oh wow. This is quite something. Oh, light switches. Is that an oil lamp?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is as well. It's an oil lamp.
Old fashioned garden. I'll just put those down. I'll give them a few minutes.
Wow, you don't see many of those, do you?
Nope.
Certainly don't get many of them to the pound. It would seem so. Yep.
And some information about the history of the church by the looks of things as well.
Yep.
And Snitterby School, the original Snitterby School by the look of it. This is a picture from 1900 to 1910. Look at these lovely girls, old Victorian sort of outfits, Edwardian outfits.
You don't see that anymore, do you?
And certainly not.
You never know, a few years it might make a fashion comeback.
The font up here.
Yeah.
And the bell tower.
Bell tower.
The organ's just behind you.
Yeah. How about this chancel, eh?
Yeah. It's very different to the other ones we've seen because we can see the bare brick inside. Normally the inside are rendered or painted so it lightens them up.
Yeah.
But this is pretty with the bare brick, and if you look up, if you go up at that roof, look at that wood. Beautiful design.
Absolutely.
And then you've just got that one single stained glass window up at the end above the altar.
Yeah.
And everything else is just plain glass, so it allows the natural light to come in.
Which is something we saw in Waddingham in the last episode. Obviously you weren't, no, you weren't with me, but we saw that, didn't we? There was no stained glass at all in that church. And yes, the natural light is certainly something which is...
This church is something quite, for me, is quite unique. It's probably not, and I get that, but it is something quite unique and quite special to see. I love to see, you know, the ceiling beams and things. It's, you know,
yeah.
See how buildings are constructed from the inside out, and to see like what's on the inside almost reflecting the outside as well. I like that.
Okay. There's a plaque on this wall too.
Yeah. To a previous vicar, by the look of it, previous reverend.
Elvira, is that Elvira? The east window is erected to the glory of God and in loving memory of Elvira.
Elvira, the devoted and lamented wife of the Reverend Henry Usher, M.A., rector of this parish, born at Holbeach and died at Snitterby, but interred at
Saltfleetby.
Yeah, thank you.
It's in East Lindsey. It's not far from Skegness, if I remember rightly.
And there's looked like a special sort of lectern up there, but I'm not going any further than this.
No, it's fine. Okay, I think I better turn the camera off at this point. I've been going for...
Hang on a minute.
How
Before
long?
you do, look at these
Nearly 8
tiles
minutes.
on the floor as well. I mean, look how beautiful they are. I mean, this is of course something you classically see in churches, but these are lovely, and the natural light makes it so much nicer.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said for
Beautiful.
plain windows. Right, let's get out of here and see what else this village has got. It turns out that information board was something called the Snitterby Trail, which shows visitors around the village. This was totally coincidental, but we followed almost the exact same route as this suggests. A further word on the chapel too, by the way. Both the Wesleyan Methodists and the Primitive Methodists built chapels here. The one we saw was the former. The latter was on Church Lane. Next we have some of these, and it's been a while. The allotment fans have their fill today with this small patch on the corner of Moor Road and the High Street. And it's a walk along the High Street which will complete the Snitterby Trail almost to the letter and complete the main walk for this episode. We're not done yet though, according to the wife. Alright, it's time for a picture bit, on the advice of my missus anyway. Sorry? You have decreed it, yes. You see, a village this small normally wouldn't get one, but I think today, I think it's going to have one, based on the fact that you've taken some pictures to put in it, so yeah.
And why not?
I'll stop sharking about it, here it is right now. Okay, and there's one last thing to talk about. Just before we got to the car, we noticed a standalone postbox and the old red phone box, which is empty. There's nothing in it. There's no defib machine, no book exchange. So yeah, that's it. That's it for Snitterby. Lovely, lovely little place. Yeah, some pears and some eggs.
Yeah, just another quick look at those lovely eggs again.
If we must.
Yes, we must.
Okay, fine. Yes.
And nice pair of pears.
Time to move on to the next one, which is very similar to this. It's very small, virtually the same size as Snitterby. Probably take me another half an hour to walk around that one. This has been the parish of Snitterby, and I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I am out.